students, I am Sophia, your science teacher. Today we are going to continue the topic living and non-living. About one of the characteristics of living thing, that is movement. As we have discussed, there is movement present in all the living organisms, and only one living organism which cannot move from one place to another place is the plant. But plant and trees show different features by which we can say they do have movement, like movement of water in the entire plant, movement of food in the plant, etc. So now we are going to discuss the other characteristic of the living things. That is what here? Food. Do all the living things require food? Yes, answer is yes, all the living things require food. Like for our growth, for getting energy, we need food. In the same way, animals also take food. Animals, they will be, ruminants will be eating all the grass. Okay, all the cattle will be eating grass, and other animals eat flesh and all those. In the same way, plants also eat food. In the lesson, plant parts and functions, we have discussed that photosynthesis will take place in the leaves. Photosynthesis is the process of preparation of food. Photosynthesis will carry out in the plants. Other organisms, other living organisms cannot prepare their own food. Only plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. We have discussed this. That means food is also required by all the living organisms. So, other characteristic that is after requiring of food, the characteristic is growth. Do you think growth is present in all the living organisms? Yes. You observe that small kittens, cubs will be growing into wild animals, and the cat, lions, and etc. Not only they, but you also will increase in height. You will become tall every year. Your height will be increasing. Your age will be increasing. And as well as plants will also increase from small baby plant. From sapling, it will become shrub, like the height of shrub, then it will become plant, then it will become into tree. That means here growth is present in all the living organisms. But there is a slight difference here. Plants can grow throughout their life, but whereas we cannot grow throughout our life. For example, if someone is surviving for 40 years, do you think they are going on growing in height and size for 40 years? No, up to certain age they will grow. After that, the growth will stop. Okay, the growth of our body will stop. But there are some things which will grow throughout our life, like hair. Hair will be growing throughout our life. Nails will be growing throughout our life. Okay, hair and nail will grow throughout our life. Till the time we have born to the time we will die, these two things will go on growing. But whereas in plants can survive, they will grow every year till their death. Animals also will not grow entire life. They will grow up to certain height and up to certain age they will grow. Later on they will stop growing. Them also the nails and the hair will be growing. This is about growth. And other characteristic is respiration. Do plants also respire like us? Like for example, if you take animals and we will respire. We will breathe into our body. We leave out air through our body. That means respiration is going on. So respiration is possible in plants and animals. You see that we have discussed about Venkatesh saw a dog. Dog's stomach was increasing and decreasing. That means it is moving. That movement is because we are breathing. Breathing is a part of respiration. That means plants and human beings and animals will breathe. In the same way, do you think plants will also breathe? Yes, plants do breathe like us. We have discussed about the minute structures present in the leaf. Those are called as stomata. stromata, and I have shown stromata are kidney shaped structures surrounded by guard cells. Surrounded by guard cells. These stromata are for exchange of gases. That means here, as we know, plants will take carbon dioxide and leave out oxygen. This process will be going, or it will be taking place with the help of this stromata only. That means respiration is present in plants also. So the characteristics which we are discussing are the characteristics of living things. All the living things, group of living things will be having these characteristics. And not only that, your next one is reproduction, are giving birth to young ones. So what is reproduction? If you see a small cat will be giving birth to kitten. So how they will be same? We can identify that it is kitten. Okay, by seeing the mother one kind. So that means the reproduction means it is production of same kind. Production of same kind. Like our parents are human beings. So we are also human beings. We are of same kind. We have some characteristics resembling our mother or our father. Some people will look alike like their mother or father. Their habits will also be same like their parents. So reproduction is also possible in living things. But there are two different ways of reproduction in human beings. They can give birth to young ones directly, or to give birth to young ones they will lay eggs. So I can say egg laying animals, and directly they will give birth to young ones. If we take an example, we can take lizard. Lizard will lay eggs. Very common example I take, okay? Hen. To get the chicks, hen will lay eggs. After laying eggs, after all that, from eggs, the chicken will be coming out. That means hence reproduction is what? Through laying eggs. In the same way, human beings. Do you think human beings will lay eggs? No, they will give directly birth to young ones. That means here, by laying eggs and directly giving birth to young ones. So animals can be, categorized into two different groups. That is what? The animals which give birth to young ones directly, and animals which lay eggs for giving birth to young ones. So the animals which lay eggs are called as oviparous animals. Oviparous. Example of oviparous animals is, first one is hen, lizard, snake, dinosaur. You have seen Jurassic Park. So in Jurassic Park you have seen small, eggs. That means dinosaurs were oviparous, etc. Many animals are there which are oviparous. So animals which lay eggs for giving birth to young ones are called as oviparous. And we people are viviparous. Viviparous. Animals which give birth to young ones directly without laying any eggs are examples of viviparous. First good example is human beings. Humans. Then elephant, cattle, etc. are examples of viviparous animals. So reproduction is also a characteristic of living things. Non-living things cannot reproduce. Okay. So the other characteristic is excretion, are getting rid of waste materials. Excretion is present in all the living organisms. Whatever we eat will be coming out of our body in the form of solid and liquid waste. Excretions, I can say, are different types. One is through our excretory system, that is through our kidney. That is what, either it can be solid waste or it can be liquid waste. And one more is through our skin, that is in the form of sweat. When you do some work, when you are doing some kind of work, then what happens? You will be wet because of sweat. That means your body will be releasing the extra salt from our through skin, that is in the form of sweat. In the same way, if you drink more water, or even if you are drinking less water, after some time you will use washrooms or what? That is for what? Because you excrete urine. That is what? The liquid form. Okay, and the solid form is fecal matter. So fecal matter is a solid form, solid excretion. Okay, so excretion is possible in living organisms. Like in animals and human beings, we can say human beings is of these many types. In the same way for animals also same kind of excretion will take place. You know, cattle like buffalo, cow, their excretion is dung. Solid excretion is dung. That solid excretion is used as manure. In the same way, other living organism, that is plants also excrete, but the excretion will not be of this type. You know, if you stand near the trees, you'll observe some gummy substance coming out of the trunk or the stem. That is nothing but gum, right? Gum. So that gum is nothing but the excretion of plants. So plants will also excrete like all other living organisms. The gums and resins are excreted by the plants. So the excretion of animals and plants is useful. Animals, the dung will be used in making organic manure and giving the fertility to the soil. In the same way, gums and resins are used by human beings for doing different kinds of activities and for different purposes. This is how excretion is possible in living organisms. Next one is respond to stimulus. How do we respond to stimulus? So what is respond to stimulus? I will explain. So we have seen, I have given you, right, sense of touch, heat, pain, etc. You will respond. How you will respond? That is what stimulus. Whenever you feel, if you are stepping on the sharp objects, for example, if you are stepping on a sharp objects, what do? You will remove your feet from there. If you are touching hot vessel unknowingly, what do? You will keep your hand there itself. No, you will be pulling your hand back. You will pull back your hand. In the same way, when light is focused on your face, what you will do? You blink your eyes, you turn your face. That means we respond to light, we respond to touch, we respond to heat. Whenever it is more heat, you feel hot, you will be getting sweat and all. That means we are able to respond to stimulus. So that means human beings respond to stimulus is there. Whenever you see ice cream, or when you see pani puri, or when you see something which is tasty, what you'll feel? Your mouth will become watery, like saliva will be flowing out from that. So that means we respond to all kind of stimulus. For us it is possible. In the same way, do you think animals and plants will also respond to stimulus? Yes, answer is yes. Animals also respond to stimulus. Whenever you beat them, whenever you touch them, they'll feel that. Whenever heat is more, they will also feel that. Whenever the light is focused on them, they also blink, they also change their faces like we do. That means respond to stimulus is present in the animals also. Now talking about the plants, plants also respond to stimulus. Some plants will respond to temperature. Whenever the temperature is high, the shedding of leaves will take place, or the plant will become dry. And in season like in autumn season, what will happen? They will respond to season. Shedding of leaves of all the trees, plants will take place. That not only that, even some plants will respond to sunlight and some plants will respond to touch also. There is one plant that is touch me not plant, or mimosa plant. Mimosa or touch me not plant. These plants will respond to touch. For example, if you are touching the leaves of mimosa, automatically it will close. That is because it is responding to touch. In the same way, some plants like sunflower, from where the sun is rising, that place only this flower will be facing. That means whenever sun sets, the flowers will also move down. That is because they respond to sunlight. That means respond to stimulus is present in all the living organisms, that is human beings, animals and plants. So it is also an example of, it is also an characteristic of living things. So far we have discussed many characteristics. All these characteristics are the group of people, those are living organisms. Group of things, that is living things. That means living things have all these characteristics, whereas non-living things doesn't have any characteristics. They doesn't have any life. There is no growth, no respiration, no reproduction, nothing is present in non-living things. So now there is a question. I think not there one, there is two questions, like seeds. Seeds are living or non-living? I forgot to say, plants also reproduce in the form of seeds, like animals will laying eggs and giving birth to young ones. In the same way, plants will also give, they also reproduce. Some will give seeds and some will be using their different parts of the body in reproduction. From the seeds we can get a new plant. If not from the seed, the other parts of the plant is useful in reproduction in plants. About reproduction in plants, we will be learning in the 7th class. A detailed study about it is given there. But remember, plants also reproduce like human beings and animals. Now, seeds are living or non-living? Seeds are living only. When they come in contact with moisture, if the conditions are favorable, automatically seed will be growing into a new plant. So we can say seed is also a living thing. Now next question, if any plant or animal is dead, do you think we can say that those are non-living things? No, we can't say those are non-living things. Animals, plants and which are dead, they are not considered as a non-living things. They are considered as the intermediary between living and non-living. Intermediate, that means they are in between living and non-living. Even though they are, the plant has died, but it is a source for different organisms to live on that. So that's why living and non-living, dead organisms are intermediate between living and non-living.